Happy Chinese New Year, everyone. I'm Zoe. I'm so glad to have you back here on my channel. How was your holiday? Did you travel anywhere interesting? Or did you stay in and scroll through your phone? So today, we're diving into a topic that might seem like an old story, but is one we still haven't fully resolved, phone addiction. Even though that is a well-worn topic, everyone covers some fresh insights about how dopamine really works when we swipe. Let's get started. More than 50 years ago, psychologists began documenting a strange phenomenon among animals. Although they didn't realize it at the time, this behavior would help explain why our society has developed such an intense and often uncontrollable need for our phones.
50多年前，心理学家就在动物身上发现了如今能够解释为什么人们对于手机有如此强烈难以控制的需求。Intense is very strong, right? You could say intense heat, intense pressure. 强度很大的手机并非像我们所想的那样给我们提供及时的满足，相反，它会激发持续的渴望和欲望。In the 1970s, scientists put hunger pigeons into a alarm box and taught the birds that the flashlight at one end of the box signified the appearance of food at the other end of the box. 一头是 flashlight, 一头是 food. At first, the pigeons largely ignored the light and spent time at the side of the box near the food. They wanted and needed the food. 刚一开始，鸽子并没有注意到这灯光，它们只是想要吃东西。But over time, the light drew the pigeons to it like a magnet. The bird would spend so much time pecking the light that they had no time to get the food. Here is a so that, right? You guys know woodpecker, don't you? 啄木鸟，所以 peck at the light 去啄那个灯。So it represents the degree, and that introduces the results. 以至于他们没有时间去吃东西了。The scientists call this behavior sign tracking because the animals chased after the sign of the reward. Peck, peck, peck. How silly of these birds. Today, nearly everyone has become just as silly. There is the implicit comparison between a human and birds. Today, nearly everyone has become as silly as the birds, right? Do you remember the episode about Alex Honnold? It says it's not as tired. We carry around a device that elicits this bizarre behavior, her phones. Elicit is to produce something, especially a reaction. We have seen this many times. We could say elicit a response. 引发了一个回应 elicit behavior. 引发了一个行为 Bizarre is strange or weird. 古怪的一个行为就是我们的手机。Both swipe and scroll can be translated into 刷手机, but there is subtle difference in physical action and intent. For example, if you just read a long article, you have to scroll, 向上下滚动. But if you watch short video or some photos, you can either swipe vertically or horizontally. Tap, 点击. Smartphone can trick us into no longer seeking out what we need in our lives. But tricking too is to make somebody do something by lying to them. 把我们诱骗，不再让我们去 seek out what we need in our life. So if I just remove out, does this sentence still make sense? Yes, it does. Out 这个介词是出来，对吗？所以呢是找出来，它带有一些主观能动性在里面。We start to value, desire, and even become obsessed with signals on our devices that we associate with our fundamental needs, like belonging. 于是呢，我们就开始渴望，甚至是 be obsessed with to think about something all the time that you can't focus on anything else. 沉迷于手机发射出来这些信号。什么样的信号呢？和我们的最基础的需求相关的，比如说归属感 belonging. As social creatures, people are driven to find social interactions just as compelling as food, water, sex, and salt. Be driven to 被什么驱动着？人们被驱动去寻找一些社会的互动。If something is compelling, you just cannot look away. It's just like a magnet, 就像磁铁一样吸引着我们的，像食物、水等等。Neuroscientists have found the brain chemical dopamine draws us to these signals. Dopamine was once believed to encode pleasure, but a vast amount of evidence accumulated over recent decades suggests that it's not quite right. 以前被认为是 encode pleasure, 但是编码快乐的，但是一系列的 evidence accumulated over recent decades. I believe most of us have identified accumulated as the post modifier to modify evidence. 这是个后置的定语啊。So my question is it okay if I just put accumulated before evidence? It is understandable, but it is also a interlanguage, which cuts off the connection between accumulated and over a period of time. I think I'll give you a simpler example for you to identify what went wrong here. I like the books written by someone. So we don't say, I like the written book by someone. 如果你把它提前，你就切断了 accumulated 和 over recent decades 之间的关系，它们其实是一个 unit. 所以这里呢，最好不要放到 evidence 前面。Instead, play several roles. It triggers motivation and wanting a fundamental need. It makes you want the cake in front of you, but it doesn't make you like the cake or feel satisfied afterward. 多巴胺呢，以前是被认为和快乐相关的，那其实它还能够引发 trigger elicit 对基本需求的渴望。比如说，一蛋糕放在你面前，多巴胺并不是让你去喜欢这个蛋糕，或者是说吃完蛋糕之后满足的，它的作用是引发你这种想要。The dopamine system also identifies signals environment that point to and predict the arrival of these critical needs. 多巴胺还能识别环境中那些指向，并且预测这些基本需求到来的信号。It lights up when you see the logo of the cake bakery down the street or when you see your phone sitting on your desk. 所以呢，当你看到一个蛋糕房的 logo 或者是你手机放在那的时候，多巴胺你已经识别出你想要的这个信号。So I think there's something new about the role dopamine plays in our behaviors. And the solution to this problem is pretty commonplace. As you know, just stay away from your phone. Do some activities that can fulfill your needs rather than scrolling or swiping their phone all day long. So since it is the beginning of the new year, so what are you aiming for? And what's your plan to get there? Please leave a comment down below. And I'm Zoe, and I will see you next time.